was no doubting that the 1990 Esso British Touring Car Championship did have its exciting moments. At the front of the field, these were generally provided by Andy Rouse in pursuit of eventual champion Rob Gravitt. But this was to be the last year of the 500 horsepower Ford Sierra Cosworths. Behind them, the new 2-litre formula was demonstrating what top-class saloon car racing is really like. Evenly matched cars, evenly matched drivers, and although the class was dominated by BMW and Vauxhall last year, the new 2-litre formula has encouraged a greater spread of manufacturers to prove their worth in Britain's most competitive motor racing championship. In 2 seasons, the RAC Motorsports Association have streamlined the championship from 4 classes to one very straightforward format. 2-litre engines, maximum 6 cylinders, limited to 8,500 revs. Unleaded fuel, and a limit on tyres, requiring teams to strike a skillful balance between qualifying and the race. In theory, the teams running in the formula last year should have the advantage. That means BMW and also Vauxhall with their powerful lineup of Jeff Allen and former champion John Cleland. There's a Ford Sapphire for Rob Gravitt, and Toyota looking fresh from the showroom with Gary Ailes partnering the experienced Andy Rouse in the Caliber team. After the Cosworth of the previous years, for Rouse, a new challenge and a new car in the Toyota Carina. He's also got to work out how to beat talented drivers from Formula One. Enter Jonathan Palmer. Joining Palmer in the Works BMW team, Steve Soper, one of Britain's best saloon car racers, seen here carving through the field in the 1988 Tourist Trophy. And Soper, so prominent in the German Touring Car Championship, would prove to be quickest in qualifying for the opening round at Silverstone. But alongside Soper, the Vic Lee-prepared BMW of Will Hoy had split the works cars, with Rob Gravitt, the defending champion, way back. So let battle commence, the opening round of the 1991 Esso British Touring Car Championship, and the commentator at Silverstone is Murray Walker.
In pole position, it's international ace Steve Soper's BMW next to the BMW of the vastly underrated Will Hoy. Row 2, Grand Prix driver Jonathan Palmer's BMW and the Toyota Carina of 4 times British champion Andy Rouse. Then the Vauxhall Cavalier of 1989 British champion John Cleland with Ray Belm's BMW M3. Several of the teams have worked through the night to finish preparing their new cars, but now it's race time for 25 laps. And 1991 is go. And it's a searing start from Will Hoy on the left. Now we're with Steve Soper. Up to Copse, he's in second place, Hoy on the left. From second gear to third, from third to fourth, into Copse corner, 3 abreast. It's Will Hoy, BMW, Cleland, Soper, Palmer in his BMW, and Andy Rouse passing Jonathan Palmer. Andy Rouse in the Toyota. Now we're with Andy Rouse, 4th place. Steve Soper ahead, up to Maggott's curve, 130 miles an hour, down to Beckett's, and there's Palmer on the left, he's turning in, thump! He's hit Andy Rouse, off! Off goes the Toyota. What a start for his first Toyota race. And Andy Rouse rejoins almost last. They've all streamed through. Up to Brooklands at the end of the lap. It's Will Hoy leading. Cleland second. Steve Soper in 3rd position. Then Jonathan Palmer, Jeff Allen, Tim Harvey in the BMW, Lawrence Bristow. Now, the leader, Will Hoy, is a bit of a surprise for a lot of people because Will's comparatively unknown in Britain, but he's been Clubman's champion and he's won the Japanese Touring Car Championship twice. He leads at the end of the lap. Soper in 3rd place is closing up on John Cleland. Here they're going to Copse, Hoy, Cleland at the Vauxhall, Soper 3rd, in car with Soper. It's drizzling, windscreen wipers going. Vauxhall Cavalier ahead, 280 horsepower, 130 miles an hour, into Maggot, 6th gear. Down into 3rd for Beckett, 60 miles an hour. Now into the fast club straight. Let's see if the BMW M3 can catch and pass John Cleland's Vauxhall Cavalier. My goodness, he can't. Down into Brooklands. Hoy leading. Cleland, Soper trying to go through on the inside. Cleland shuts the door, holds that 2nd place. We're with Soper now. On to Luffield, the double right-hander at the end of the lap. And hats off to Vauxhall. It's only the second racing year for the Cavalier. The BMW M3 has had 5 years development and the Cavalier's ahead of it. But not ahead of Will Hoy's. Look, Will Hoy leading into Copse. And number 3, Andy Rouse is fighting back in the front-wheel drive Toyota. He's last but 2, but he's gaining. Now here's a replay. We're looking back from Andy Rouse's Toyota at Ray Bell's BMW, and alongside us, you can't see him, is Jonathan Palmer, and we're off. And the rest of them go streaming through. Jonathan Palmer's all right, he's gone on down the club straight, but we're rejoining. And listen to the stones on the underside of the Toyota as Rouse rejoins. Up to speed. Will Hoy leading by 1.5 seconds. Behind him and very close to each other, John Cleland, Vauxhall, number 5. Steve Soper, BMW, number 44, 3rd place. 3 champions leading. BMW, Vauxhall, BMW. In car with Steve Soper. He was in pole position. He was expected to win in the BMW Works car, but John Cleland ahead of him in the Dave Cook prepared Cavalier flamethrower is holding him off. Down the club straight again. Now Steve Soper's in a good position to go for second if he can. He's tight up behind the Cavalier, underneath the bridge, down to Brooklands, and he's done it straight through, straight past Cleland, the last of the late breakers. Steve Soper up into second place. Now can he catch Will Hoy? Into Luffield, the double right. And Jeff Allen in the second Vauxhall is up to 4th, past Jonathan Palmer. Steve Soper almost sliding off the track, second, and trying to catch Will Hoy ahead. John Cleland is attacking Steve Soper. We're with Cleland now, in car, front-wheel drive Cavalier, rear-wheel drive BMW M3 ahead of us. Steve Soper lives in Monaco. Cleland comes from Peebles in Scotland, and there is no quarter being given. From Maggots to Beckett's. And at Beckett's, it's Hoy, Soper, Cleland, there they are, second and third. Jeff Allen in the second Vauxhall behind them. And now we're in car with Ray Bell, BMW, 8th position, chasing Lawrence Bristow and Tim Harvey down the club straight. Plenty of time to get the message, don't drink and drive. And that's a good message. Into Brooklands. Number 9, Bristow in 5th position. Number 4, Tim Harvey is 6th. Then it's Belm and Andy Middlehurst in the Ford Sierra. He's right up with the light blue BMW. Into Luffield. Soper and Cleland, second and third. In car with Soper, second place. Will Hoy is pulling away. There he is in the distance, getting smaller and smaller. And here's why. Soper's got a problem. Soper's got a problem. And past him, up into second place, goes John Cleland. Copse corner. Back again with Bell. He's no slouch. 3 times world champion, and that's Soper's car touring in. Steve Soper has slowed right down, but he's still moving. And that flashing light is really distracting. It means the data logging system isn't on, so push the button, Ray. But Ray doesn't even see it. He's chasing spot, and thump. Ray Belm hits Tim Harvey as they go into Beckett's, and that's given Andy Middlehurst the chance to close right up. 6th and 10th, absolutely together, spread across the club straight. It's Cleland second, Allen third, Palmer in 4th position. Here comes Bristow in 5th place. Then it's Harvey, Belm and Middlehurst in the white Ford Sierra on the inside. Going round Brooklands into Luffield. Great drive by Andy Middlehurst, number 99. He's in the non-turbo Graham Good Ford Sierra, 8th place. And here's a replay of the Belm and Harvey collision. Let's see what happened. Harvey turns into Belm. They hit each other. Whose fault was it? Well, you be the judge. I'm neutral. Into the pits, Steve Soper. Well, now we're going to find out what the problem is. Up to his pit crew. And stop. What was it then? I wonder.
Stuck in gear, stuck in 3rd gear.
Yeah, that's what I thought, but Steve seems very calm about it. On to Copse. There's Belm, chasing Middlehurst. And ahead of them, the blue BMW. Andy Middlehurst in front of Ray Belm here, 28 years old, comes from St Helens. He's been a class winner in other saloon championships for the last 3 years. Now he's in the big one, the RAC's British Touring Car Championship. And isn't he doing well? In car with Ray Belm. And you can see how difficult it is to pass. Equal performance, these cars, and you've got to wait for somebody to make a mistake. Tim Harvey isn't making one, though. Tim Harvey, number 4, ahead of Andy Middlehurst in the Sierra, number 99. Then Ray Belm, number 12, in the light blue BMW. Round Woodcote, into the straight down to Copse, and behind them 2 Swedish drivers, Pagan Andersson in the white BMW, and then the woman driver, Nettan Lindgren, in another white BMW, but it's Copse corner. Harvey, Middlehurst, and Middlehurst is really harrying Tim Harvey. Right on his boot lid, he's not giving him any peace at all as they come into Beckett's. See, there's about a foot, if anything, if that, between the rear bumper of Harvey's BMW and Middlehurst Ford. And Belm here, that we're with, isn't very far behind now as they go into Brooklands. They turn in, and Harvey's lost it. Tim Harvey spins. And that's what Middlehurst harrying has done for him. Tim Harvey spins out, and he's lost at least 5 places as he rejoins. So Luffield at the end of the lap, Middlehurst and Belm up to 6th and 7th. Lindgren and Anderson behind them, 8th and 9th, and Andy Rouse is there. Look for the Toyota. He's up to 11th from 19th. Now, we're with Ray Belm chasing Andy Middlehurst's Ford Sierra. A lot of people said that the Ford Sierra wouldn't be up to it without a turbocharger, but Andy Middlehurst and Graham Good are proving them wrong. Middlehurst staying ahead of Ray Belm's very quick 280 horsepower BMW M3. Round Beckett's. Now, Andy Rouse is starting to gain. There he is, number 3, 10th position. He's come up through the field, he's gained 9 places, and that's the 1990 touring car champion Rob Gravitt in the Trackstar Sierra. He's already spun twice. He's a very unhappy man. But the battle for 6th continues. Will Hoy is out front, leading by a massive 13 seconds. He's done the fastest lap, 1 minute 47.5, 91.7 miles an hour. In car with Andy Rouse, a stunning recovery, 10th. Behind Pagan Andersson, the Swede in the BMW, the white car ahead, out of Copse. Riding with 4 times British champion Andy Rouse. Watch that light in front of him on the fascia. When he gets up to maximum revs, it lights and tells him literally to change gear. And Rouse is through, taking Anderson's BMW, moving up to 9th position as the 2 Vauxhalls, 2nd and 3rd, go through. Now we're with John Cleland. Chasing Jeff Allen in 2nd position. Three cars, in fact, battling for 2nd place. The 2 Vauxhall Cavaliers, and there they are, and behind them, there it is, Jonathan Palmer's BMW. Into Copse. Still, Vauxhall 2nd, Vauxhall 3rd, Palmer in the BMW in 4th position, and Will Hoy, of course, leading. Now we're with Jonathan Palmer. It's a great effort, this, 4th place. He's used to driving the Formula 1 McLaren in testing and the big Porsche 962 sports car. Now he's in the BMW Works touring car with teammate Steve Soper, 4th position, with only the Vauxhalls and Hoy in front of him. And look how much he's trying. Cleland getting his car out of shape as they come out of the right-hander at Luffield. Now into Woodcote, completing the lap. So 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and look at Andy Rouse, number 3. What a recovery. He's right up from 19th position with Ray Belm and Andy Middlehurst. Now, we're with Ray Belm now in the BMW. Middlehurst in front of us. Colossal pressure from Andy Rouse behind. Into Copse. Running a bit wide. Running very wide. Running onto the grass. Belm goes off. And Rouse goes through, up into 6th position. And that's cost Belm places. It's cost him 2 places because Rouse has gone through. Anderson in the white BMW in front has gone through. So, Beckett's. And that there, number 33 is Gary Ailes in the second Toyota Carina going down the straight. And there's somebody pulling in. It's one of the Vic Lee BMWs. It's Bristow. It's Lawrence Bristow. Oh, and this is a tragedy for him. Lawrence was in 5th position. Belm passes, Anderson passes, and that is Andy Rouse. Now he's in 6th position behind the very impressive Andy Middlehurst. Race order. Will Hoy lead, Jeff Hallam 2nd, Cleland 3rd, Palmer 4th. Middlehurst is 5th in the Ford. Andy Rouse, number 3, there is 6th. Ray Belm is 7th. Anderson is in 8th place, and Gary Ailes is 9th. It's another lap completed. Onto Beckett's, and it's still Jeff Hallam and John Cleland battling for that 2nd position, with Will Hoy now nearly 16 seconds ahead of him. John Cleland is going to take Jeff Hallam now down the club straight under the bridge. He's on the outside, but he's got to get through on the inside to stay ahead of Hallam on the corner, and Hallam is there. Jeff Hallam holds his 2nd place. The Vauxhall twins are moving as one. Look at them. 2nd and 3rd. It doesn't look as though they're going to catch Will Hoy, though. And will Cleland catch and pass Jeff Hallam? Well, into the pits. Lawrence Bristow, what's the problem? Well, if it doesn't work, thump it. That doesn't seem to be doing any good. And a disgusted Lawrence Bristow throws aside his safety belt, gets out of the car, and the helicopter ace is out of his first BMW race. Will Hoy leads in the Vic Lee Motorsport BMW M3, an immaculate race, no worries, as they say in Australia. 2nd place, what a race for the Vauxhalls. Hallam still 2nd, Cleland that we're with in 3rd place, just ahead of Jonathan Palmer's BMW. Jonathan still pushing very hard, but he's dropping back a bit. You can see how hard John Cleland was trying there. He put his rear wheels right over the rumble strip onto the grass. Now, looking back, there is Andy Middlehurst in the white Ford, 5th. Andy Rouse in the blue Toyota, 6th. Steve Soper back in the race, but well down. And Ray Belm in 7th position. Now, in car with Andy Rouse, trying so hard to pass Middlehurst, and it looks as though he's done it at Copse. No, he hasn't. Middlehurst is staying there on the outside of the corner. This is incredible. He's staying in front on the outside. Rouse had the inside line, but still he couldn't get past. Now, Middlehurst should pull away because he's got the inside line at Maggots, and he does, and that's Steve Soper unlapping himself past Andy Rouse. Well, Andy Rouse couldn't get past Middlehurst, but Soper has got past Rouse. Is Soper now going to be able to get past Middlehurst? There's the Ford Sierra in front. And with absolutely no trouble at all, Steve Soper drives through on the inside to take Andy Middlehurst, unlap himself. His gearbox is obviously fixed. And Ray Belm is now right up with Andy Rouse as we look back from Rouse's car at Belm again. Ray's really enjoying himself. He set up this new team with Vic Lee prepared BMWs, and they're 1st and 7th, 140 miles an hour. Up to Copse. There they go, Middlehurst, Rouse, Belm, Ford, Toyota, BMW, looking back again. Up to Maggots. From Maggots into the right-hander at Beckett's. There's Rouse. On the right is Belm. In front is Middlehurst. Up to Brooklands, and they've all got their windscreen wipers going. The drizzle is increasing in intensity. as Andy Rouse struggles to make up places. Three-wheeling round the left-hander. Three-wheeling round the right-hander. Try as he may, Andy Rouse just can't take the very impressive Andy Middlehurst. Middlehurst has raced in Formula Ford and in touring cars, Toyotas, Volkswagen Golfs, Sierra Cosworth Turbos, and now the Graham Good 2-litre, normally aspirated Ford. Holding Steve Soper. And he's holding off Andy Rouse. And with Rouse, trying to get by on the outside. Middlehurst is there though, staves off Andy Rouse. This really is a terrific battle between a new driver at the top level and a very experienced driver at the top level in two very different motor cars. And now we're down to Brooklands again. Soper, Middlehurst, Rouse and Belm. Middlehurst 5th, Rouse 6th, Belm in 7th position. Don't forget Will Hoy, he's still there in a race of his own, and that's Tim Harvey locking up. Taking 11th place, Tim Harvey is recovering, taking 11th place from Nick Baird. Into lap 24 out of 25. Will Hoy is bound to win this race if he just keeps going. Allen second, will Cleland catch him? But more importantly, because we're riding with Andy Rouse in 6th position, will he catch Middlehurst ahead? And will he stay ahead of Ray Belm, who is in 7th place? Well, with Andy Rouse now, out of Copse, Maggots, down Club Straight, and Will Hoy is winning. His lead is down to 10 seconds. This is the last corner. His car sounds okay, and Will Hoy wins a brilliant race, provided he just gets across the line, which he does now, to take 24 points. Jeff Allen second, Cleland third, but where is Palmer? Because here are Middlehurst and Rouse ahead of Soper and Belm. They're 4th, 5th and 6th. Middlehurst 4th, Rouse 5th, Belm 6th. And now they're on the rundown lap. Look at all that rubber crumb in the foreground from worn tyres as they went round the corner. But the question is, what happened to Jonathan Palmer? He completely disappeared on that last lap. Well, here is a replay of whatever happened. Jonathan down the Club Straight at about 140 miles an hour on his way to the left-hander at Brooklands, down through the gearbox, and he's just lost it. Just as simple as that. Through go Middlehurst and Rouse, and down goes Jonathan Palmer. Sad end to his first BMW race. So Will Hoy in the Vic Lee Motorsport BMW M3 takes a superb, absolutely unchallenged win and the fastest record lap in round 1 of the 13-race 1991 British Touring Car Championship.
Well, I just think that was one of those lucky races where the lead guy gets away and doesn't get muddled up with the traffic behind. And I mean, these cars are now so close that if you can't get past somebody, you can lose so much time if you're a bit quicker, and you haven't got that power advantage you have with perhaps the Sierra Cosworths. And so I think that if one car can get away, maybe he can make a jump and stay in front. But we actually had a big problem last 4 laps. I mean, I was terrified. It'd been very easy, and then suddenly I started getting a misfire, and I wasn't picking up the fuel properly out of one of the tanks. And so the last 2 laps, the car was virtually stopping after Cobbs. And it was just like the Group C formula, fuel formula, when you have to run the last 2 laps on the field just to get to the finish. I mean, I was terrified, absolutely terrified. But as it turned out, we struggled across the line, and that was all right. But having a 12-second lead was helpful.
In the end, it all added up to a very decent win. How does that win actually rate in what you've achieved during your career?
Well, it's obviously great to win the first round of the British Championship, Touring Car Championship. It's not being blasé, but it was obviously, I didn't have the pressure that perhaps the second and third and fourth cars had because they were mixing it. So from that point of view, it was not hard, but it's a fantastic feeling. I'm really pleased for everybody. It's really great.
It's going to be a fantastic championship.
It is going to be a great championship, and it's going to be very, very close. I know it is.
So, one round completed, 12 to go. Will Hoy leads the championship, 6 points clear of Jeff Allen, and with round one of the SO British Touring Car Championship at Silverstone was dominated by the amiable Will Hoy in his Vic Lee Motorsport BMW. Together, they made everyone else look as though they were in a different race, and Will won easily with a record lap too. Behind him, the Vauxhall twins, Jeff Allen and 1989 British champion John Cleland, had a terrific scrap for second place in their Cavaliers. And John was quite happy with the result.
We actually didn't expect the car to be as good at Silverstone as it turned out to be. The BMWs are normally quicker out the slow corners there. And we had a good result. Second and third was better than we'd expected in the first round, especially after all the pre-season wind-up that had been going on about how fast everyone had been going. In fact, when the lights changed green, all that stopped.